On December 9th, 2011, the Chevrolet Corvette Z06 Carbon Edition was released into Need for Speed World. The car used in this video is American Street tuned, just like the one when it came from the dealer.
Yeah. You don't gotta be no billionaire to get a ticket up to the moon. We all know somebody up there. You need a helping hand, look, I'm right here to help you see clearly now, yeah. Help you see clearly now, yeah. I hope you see clearly now, yeah.
The Chevrolet Corvette Z06 Carbon Edition comes with a total of 3 body kits, 2 of which are speed boost only wide body kits, and one of them is an in-game cash kit. It also has a wide array of spoilers, including a no spoiler option, and it also features 2 hoods and body vinyls. When the Z06 Carbon was released, it had issues. One of them was the fact that it was released as an all-wheel drive car, which it clearly isn't, it's a Corvette. So they had to fix it to be rear-wheel drive. Another is that the reverse gear seems to be extremely slow. When you think of cars that are really good in drag races, you probably think the 911 GT2 and the Nismo Z-Tuning. Well, now you can add that Z06 Carbon to the list. This thing's crazy in drag races. American Street Tune got this thing up to 230 miles an hour, 7/10 of a second behind that McLaren F1. Just raw acceleration mixed with powerful nitrous, and this front engine rear wheel drive car, it's the good old American drag racer. It's just no doubt about it. It's so freaking fast in drag mode. So, sprint and circuit events. This is where the car kind of falls down a little. Now, I'm not saying the car's handling is bad, because that's not fair to the car. I mean, it has different handling. Basically, the tires have a lot more slip, making it harder to get to the clipping point of the corner. Plus, you have to make mid-corner adjustments, i.e. using the brake, stuff like that. And your technical tracks are pretty much going to slow this thing down to where it's not really going to be competitive at all. So you might want to take this out in more open events. Trying to think of some more tracks. Petersburg Dam is the one that really comes to mind because it has a wide road, so the understeer doesn't catch you out that much. It almost feels like you're on ice. And one little mistake, you can pretty much get back into the groove a bit. Now I'm racing a 911 GT2, and that thing's handing my ass to me. Of course, this thing is still street tuned, and I have no idea what that guy's running. But there's a very important note about this car. When you activate power-ups, it becomes a different beast entirely. Like Slingshot. You think of cars that have cosmic nitrous, this thing has cosmic slingshot, believe it or not. The way this thing controls, you can pretty much get it pretty well with slingshot. It's like driving it fast forward. And eventually you'll learn the handling enough to predict where the thing's going at the end of the corner. And the nitrous is powerful, so you have that, in your back pocket. All around, a very good racer, but you have to really know which track you're taking it to in order for it to have any chance. So, Team Escape and Pursuit Outrun events, where it actually is similar to the other Z06, because this thing is an absolute cop killer. Yeah, bad achievement where you have to disable those police officers. Just use this thing. It is so ridiculous. Straight out of Compton, these people. That's what it's like. It's like kicking the door down and just taking everyone out in the room with one shot. It's like a Corvette police car. Like the ones in the game are just so ridiculous because this thing has massive acceleration and massive weight at the same time. You got like a wrecking ball. Like even heavy impacts where a car just completely stops ahead of you. You can just shove it out of the way. The design of this thing, it's very well. I like it. It's weird though because on a different note, there's a Corvette Z01, which has not very powerful nitrous and really nice handling. So it's weird. A Juggernaut power up, you don't even need it. I'm just showing it to you as an example. And the fun part about this thing is when you take it to high stakes, being a front engine rear wheel drive, you can just swing the ass of this car out for like the last corner coming up here. Whee! Yeah. Yeah, this car's great. So, do I recommend it? Well, putting together the fact that it's batshit crazy in drag races, it is a lot of fun to use in certain sprint events. Granted, you know what you're doing. You don't have your head in your ass when you're racing. And the fact that it just completely murders police cars is enough to give it just 100% recommendation. If you've been on the fence about the car, just go and get it. You know, you have nothing to question about this car. It might not be the fastest thing, but it still is probably one of the coolest cars in the game and one of the funnest. And seriously, take this thing to drag if you don't believe me.